Hey y'all, I am working on uppotting a lot of my seedlings. My peppers and quite a few of my brassicas have true leaves and they are ready to be moved up. I'm going to be transitioning everything into 4-inch pots out of my seed starting trays. My space is limited though, so I don't know where I'm going to put all of these things. I'll probably have to order another shelf to be able to stack these, and I'll need to move them out of the garage to get some sunlight because my grow lights just aren't going to do it for these guys. I did start seeding a little bit early this year, and that is because I want to bypass the time that I usually deal with seeding in August and September. I want to bypass that time and have seedlings ready to go in early September, so that I can start getting harvest earlier. Our seasons are really, really weird. For the brassicas, we only have about a month and a half of really, really nice, cool weather that they're thriving in. So I want to push them a little bit harder through the warmer time while it's starting to cool off. And that way they're at production size when it's nice and cool. That coolness actually sweetens the big leafy greens, your collards, your mustards, your kales, and that is what everybody wants. Nobody wants to be eating bitter and tasteless greens. Because we don't really get cold, we can do things like peppers in the fall, and it's still warm enough that they're okay, but it's not so hot that they're basically blasting all of their buds. That heat makes the pollen real sticky. It makes the plant stress, and then it'll stop and just kind of throw all of those buds down. We need those buds in order to get peppers. So I'm just trying something a little bit new this year, pushing it a little bit earlier. So far, so good. I've got tons and tons of seedlings back here behind me. I'm probably going to be doing a little up potting for quite some time today, but I'd rather do this and get a bigger harvest than wait another month and a half and miss out. So I'm going to just go ahead and work on this. And while I'm doing this, I thought it would be cool to show you guys a flashback of a couple of my previous gardens, most of which were container gardens because we were renting. I have gardened since being back home from school in 7 different homes. I'm going to show you 2 previous while I'm working on these seedlings, and then I'm going to show you my initial garden here at this address. When we moved here, it was so weird because we moved from the east coast of Florida over to the west coast, and even though it's only a 5-degree difference in cold, gardening in 10A is completely different than gardening in 10B. I had pretty much mastered gardening in 10B, and for the first few years while we were here, I needed to kind of get a feel of, how the seasons here really worked before really putting a lot of focus into food. So I primarily did ornamental gardening. I think I'm in a pretty good place with that now. I understand how my soil works in each of my beds, and I've started doing my vegetable gardening again. It's been, I believe, 3 years since I brought back vegetables into the mix. Well, I did do it the first year that we were here, and pretty much everything failed because I was still gardening like I was on the East Coast, and it just didn't work over here. But I don't know. I'll show you guys. It's fun. Let's just take a look back on some of my past gardens, and I'll get to work.
Lanterns in the night sky glow. Drums beat with the steady flow. Sakura petals fall like snow. Together we will gaily go. Dancing in the streets all day. Fireworks light up the bay. Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play. streets all day, fireworks light up the bay. Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play. Tea ceremonies, quiet grace, masks we wear on every face. Kites we fly in open space, festival nights our hearts embrace. Dancing in the streets all day, fireworks light up the bay. Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play. Dancing in the streets all day, fireworks light up the bay. Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play. Tea ceremonies, quiet grace, masks we wear on every face. Kites we fly in open space, festival nights our hearts embrace. Tea ceremonies, quiet grace, masks we wear on every face. Kites we fly in open space, festival nights our hearts embrace. Dancing in the streets all day, fireworks light up the bay.
Got these
Join the fun, don't
just under halfway filled. I'm gonna go ahead and
play.
soak this soil, and I'll be right back.
Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play. Join the fun, don't delay. In Japan we laugh and play.
In each of these cups, I'm going to add some tomato tone. I actually was looking for garden tone. I think I'm out of it unless it's at the back of my cabinet, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and use the tomato tone. Just going to put a little bit of this in all of the cups and a little bit more soil, and then I'll start putting these inside of their bigger containers. I will also bottom water with a, I'm not sure if I'm going to use fish emulsion or if I'm going to use the kelp. I probably will go with the kelp just because these things are going to be inside my garage. I really don't want to be smelling fish emulsion every time I walk into the garage. It's really hot out here. I do have a fan that runs for, I guess, about 10.5 hours every day. Hasn't kicked on yet this morning, but it will be coming on soon. But it's still just really, really hot in the garage. I don't want to smell that. I'm just going to put a little sprinkle of this in each one of these cups, and then I'm going to put a tad bit more soil because I don't want to set the seedlings directly on top of the fertilizer. And then I will start potting these guys up. And this is just my process. This is all that it's going to be all day long. So that's why I wanted to give you guys something else to look at, because who wants to watch somebody potting up seedlings for an hour? Of course, it's going to take me much longer than an hour. I'm going to be transitioning these peppers to a little bit deeper than what they are in the seed trays. Not too deep because I don't want to rot my stems, but they are going to be a little bit deeper. Grow lights are good, but they're just not as good as the sunlight, and I don't have a setup that allows me to get my grow lights extremely close to my seedlings as they're coming up, so they do stretch a bit. Potting them a little bit deeper just kind of takes care of some of that stretching. It's not going to get rid of all of it because I can't go all the way like I could with a tomato all the way to the bottom leaves, but I can put them in here a little bit. All right, so that granular fertilizer is in the bottom, and got a little bit more soil on top just to create a little buffer. And now I'm just going to pop these guys out of this tray and start potting them up into the 4-inchers. Now some of these I may not take out because they are not quite the size I need them to be. I did reseed some of these trays. Got some good roots down on the bottom. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but there are some good roots down on the bottom. That tells me that these things need to get out of here. Let's see. I'm going to try to get my bigger ones out first. But because some of them are a little bit leggy, they're kind of all over the place. It might be a little hard for me to get an entire row out at once. Let's start with the Anaheim chilies. The soil is pretty wet. I like to do this usually when the soil is a little bit drier because it just holds together a little bit better when you're trying to take these seedlings out. So I'm leaving behind a little bit of soil because it's so wet. Got my tag. I'm going to have to make a few more because we're not just in a row anymore. So that's my Anaheims, and I'm going to just go ahead and backfill. I'll use my cup. I'm going to firm these in just a little bit. Don't want them wiggling around. Don't want a bunch of air pockets. Now, for me, it is inevitable when I up pot, something's going to die. I have quite a few seedlings this year, so I'm hoping that I have enough that when I start losing them, I don't lose all of my numbers. And I'm able to get the harvest that I was expecting to have. Break some of this soil up here. The soil is dry, but because it sits in my garage, it does have a little bit of moisture in it just from the humidity. So it does clump together inside the bag. All right, that's our Anaheims. I'm going to take a break and go and eat breakfast, and then I'll come back. While I'm eating breakfast, why don't you guys take a look at the next garden? thought I had some old tags for poblanos in here because I don't have a full row of poblanos, so I'm gonna have to make a couple tags. I did find a habanero, got one habanero that I need to transplant, and then let me see what I got. Three pasilla bajios that are ready, and I know I saw some of these in here. I have it else in here. Ghost is not quite ready. And the Bulgarian carrots, I just reseeded those. I had to buy new Bulgarian carrot seeds. I had a really old pack. None of them germinated. So I bought a new pack and reseeded the tray with those. So hopefully in the next 2 weeks I'll have Bulgarian carrots. So let me go ahead and I gotta get a tag. I also need to make more tags for the other trays, but for right now I'm just going to focus on at least having one, and I'll go back off camera and fill those in. Some really good roots on these peppers. Hopefully they don't shock and die. So I'm getting all of these out, going to reseed these trays. Some of them will get more of the same type seeds in them, and then some of them are going to get different varieties. I have this weakness for buying seeds. Whenever I come across something that I don't have or something I've never tried before, I pick it up, and then I find myself with nowhere to put it. But we're going to get past all that. We're going to grow these things out, and I'm hoping that I will have a ton of peppers because I want to pickle quite a few peppers and have peppers frozen and sitting in my freezer ready for cooking. So yeah, I am planting quite a bit. I did add a few additional green stalks to my arsenal of containers, and that is because I am literally out of ground space. I don't have anywhere else to put another raised bed. I did add 6 raised beds for mushrooms, and because those are in the shade, I was able to find a place to tuck those off. I got to work with what I have, and you know, that's just the way this goes. You can't just give up because you've got limited space. Maximize and use what you can to grow as much as you can. I think it's kind of unrealistic to expect most people to be able to grow all the food that they need, but if you can grow a lot of one crop that you use on a regular basis, that is so much better than doing nothing. This is pasilla Hacia Bajio. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know, but that's what I'm going with. The little bit of Spanish that I do remember, it looks like it might be that. Oh no! My root ball is breaking. I'm going to go ahead and take 4 of these out. There's one little one. I don't know if you guys can see this one here. It's little. It's still trying to shed the original seed casing, but it's got quite a few leaves on it. I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's smaller than the other ones, but it's okay. I'm going to go ahead and do it. This ghost pepper actually is big enough to take out of here. I think I might go ahead and take it and just put it into this one tray that is this one cup here. I'll have to get a tag. I think I have one. Put a little bit more soil in there. This guy's a little bit smaller. I don't want it to be buried too deep. So this tray is waiting for germination and waiting for true leaves. I'm going to go ahead and put this one back on the shelf. I'm going to grab another one to work with. This is an entire tray of Numex lemon spice jalapenos. And believe it or not, I actually seeded these only about a week and a half ago, and these peppers are huge. I don't know what that is, but it isn't supposed to be in there. So I'm going to go ahead and start moving those up as well. And I know I don't have any tags for those. All right, so now I'm going to just backfill these, and I'll let you guys go. All right, that's it. I'm going to keep working on these. I thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you soon. Bye, guys.